I don't know what I'm doing anymore with life. What's up, as a culture detective here, investigating your favorite albums, and today I'm going to be doing a very quick album review on the new Colin Stetson album, The Love It Took to Leave You. So Colin Stetson is an American musician who has been making some very interesting music with himself and his saxophone. The kind of music he makes is minimalism and post-minimalism, where the music is extremely stripped back and usually just revolves around 2 to 3, at max 4 musical elements, and it's usually just vocals and maybe a couple layers of saxophones, and that's pretty much it. Now, a couple years ago, he released the album When We Were That What Wept for the Sea, which was one of my favorite albums of the year when it was released. I love how beautiful and serene and clean and bright the album is. And of course, to follow that up, we have dark, muddy, and ominous album that is a complete 180-degree change from Wept for the Sea. Now, also, it is important to note that Colin Stetson is not just a musical artist. He also composes music for various different films, all the way from Hereditary to The Menu, and the very new, actually premiering tonight, Uzumaki, the anime, which I'm extremely excited about. And also, having just listened to this new album from Colin Stetson, it makes even more sense that he's scoring horror films and he's scoring scary, gory shit. Because this new album from Colin Stetson is way darker. And once again, we have hypnotic circular saxophone playing, breathing sounds, which are already iconic in his work. But there's something so dark and ominous about this album that just makes it so much more enticing for me. I'm going to quickly go over every single track. The album opener, aka the title track, has these descending plucky tones, and the bellowing saxophones echo so much so that I feel like I'm trapped in some kind of echo chamber. And then we have these ghostly vocals sort of hanging in the back. It's so entrancing and ominous and beautiful at the same time. Then we have the sixth, which is more rough around the edges and messy and strange. It sounds like it came straight from a horror film. We have some sporadic percussion and slaps and belches. It sounds like an elephant having a panic attack. The augur is more sci-fi than horror, with the transcendent chords that are sour and sweet and sour and sweet again. I feel like I'm in some kind of weird intergalactic spaceship on my way to a galaxy that has never been explored in this sci-fi story. Hollowing is a more rhythm-based track. We have a lot of crumbly noise, constantly crushing saxophones, and the ending is horrifying. It sounds like an alarm, you know, those tornado alarms that just goes, ooh, you know, those kinds of alarms. The ending sort of sounds like that, and maybe 10 times scarier. And of course, the next track is called To Think We Knew From Fear, which sounds like an extension from the previous track. It is heavy, yet spacey, lumbering, cold. I feel like I haven't played a lot of horror games, but this is what a horror game sounds like to me. Malediction is nearly 9.5 minutes long, and it sounds kind of similar to the first track, dare I say a reprise of the first track. It is entrancing and soft. Again, it has the wailing vocals and a very sweet ending for some reason. It's just a very strange, sudden turn. The track Green and Gray and Fading Light is not as dark as other tracks on the album. The busy, muddy tones are sort of created when the saxophones and the percussion work together in tandem, and it just sounds kind of muddy and boily, and it actually sounds really interesting. And then we're hit with a giant monster of a track. Strike Your Forge and Grin is 22 minutes long. This track is 22 minutes long, and for the most part, it is pretty slow and empty. We have these huge squealing tones that sounds like a ship's horn. We are introduced to some kick drums, and then towards the end of the track, as it brings itself to a finish, the track gets noisier and noisier and noisier. Following that, we have Ember, which is something way more lighthearted and sweet and simple, which is definitely needed. And then after that, we have So Say the Soaring Bullets, Bull Bats, which is straight up dark ambient at this point. We have hollow, ghoulish tones, and they're even scarier than Minecraft cave sounds. The album ends off with the track Blood Rest, which, despite its title, it's actually the most liberating and bright track on the entire album. The saxophones sort of flutter like it's a bird's wings. We have finally made it past and survived the darkness of the album, and the album ending is a little treat, a little reward for you. So yeah, this is a very fascinating album, and I'm really enjoying some horrifying post-minimalist music. I'm giving this album a decent 8 out of 10. So have you listened to the new Colin Stetson album? Comments below, let me know. Subscribe if you want more, and thanks for watching.